In a world created by the gods, 9 distinct races exist in a strict hierarchy. High elves, demons, dragons, and beastmen rule the upper rungs, while humans sit at the absolute bottom. Looked down upon, discriminated against, and treated as inferior, humans struggle just to survive. Enter Light, a simple boy from a quiet village with one dream: to become a successful adventurer, earn enough money, and give his poor family a life of comfort. With nothing but hope in his heart, Light leaves his home behind and steps into the grand city to register at the Adventurers Guild. Reality hits Light the moment he arrives. A massive beastman roughly shoves him aside, snarling at him to get out of the way. Light, knowing his place as a human, bows his head and apologizes, despite not even blocking the path. He finally makes it to the registration desk. The receptionist coldly informs him that all newcomers start at F rank, the lowest tier. Curious, she asks if Light possesses any gift, a unique skill that could boost his starting standing. "My gift is called Unlimited Gotcha!" Light exclaims, proud of his power. "I can summon anything!" Determined to prove himself, Light summons his gotcha device and activates it on the spot. A magic card glows, and out pops a bent, rusty spoon. Light's smile freezes. Sweating nervously, he tries to explain to the receptionist that better items usually appear. He spams his skill 2, 3 times. Results? A rotten apple, a piece of stale bread, a useless, broken, rusty blade. The guild hall erupts in laughter. The receptionist rolls her eyes, mentally writing him off as a hopeless loser who deserves nothing above F rank. Light swallows his pride, accepts his F rank tag, and humbly asks for a quest. Since he can't read, a common plight for suppressed humans, the receptionist directs him to basic manual labor, lifting stones and gathering firewood. Light works until his hands bleed, making just enough coins to rent a dingy room, relying on his rotten gotcha food to survive. Yet, he keeps his head high, believing hard work will eventually pay off. Cruelty, however, stalks him. A gang of beastmen intentionally bumps into Light, blaming him for dirtying their clothes. Their leader grabs Light's purse, his hard-earned rent money. When Light desperately begs for it back, the beastman lands a brutal punch across Light's jaw, leaving him bleeding in the filthy mud. "Go sleep in the slums where trash like you belongs!" The crowd jeers as Light lies in the dirt, completely broken. Suddenly, a soft, graceful hand reaches down toward him. Light looks up in shock to see a beautiful elf girl offering him help. Fearing he will dirty her, Light flinches back and stammers an apology, but she gently kneels right into the mud, pulling him into a warm, unconditional embrace. Her name is Sasha. She introduces her group, the Concord of Tribes. They are a legendary party consisting of members from the different races created by the gods: Guru the Beastman, Drago the Dragonute, Diablo the Demon, Oberon the Oni, Shion the Dark Elf, Nano the Dwarf, and Sato the Centaur. Their mission? To end race-based discrimination and build a world where all races are treated equally as brothers and sisters. They were only missing one piece: a human. Light can barely believe his ears. Overwhelmed by their kindness, he tearfully accepts their invitation. In the weeks that follow, Light goes on adventures with them. Though he is the weakest, unable to fight and serving mostly as a porter and tea maker, they protect him from deadly monsters. Drago praises his tea, and Sasha constantly tends to his injuries, hugging him close. Light feels, for the very first time in his life, that he has found a true family. The party sets off on a grand mission to the Abyss, the single most dangerous, treacherous dungeon in existence. They tell Light that bringing a human into the depths of the Abyss will prove to the entire world that all races are equal. Full of trust, Light willingly follows them into the darkness. They reach the deepest, most lethal floor of the dungeon, a terrifying abyss surrounded by endless voids and bloodthirsty high-tier monsters. Light turns to ask what the next plan is, but the atmosphere instantly chills to sub-zero. Sasha's warm smile vanishes. Her eyes turn to pure ice. The Concord of Tribes surrounds Light. There is no love in their eyes, only cold, repulsive disgust. Sasha steps forward, wiping her hands as if she had touched something filthy. They reveal the horrific truth. They never cared about equality. They never viewed Light as a comrade. To them, he was nothing more than a token human pawn, a tool to showcase the supreme superiority of the other 8 races. Did you really think a filthy, inferior human could be our equal? Sasha sneers, her voice dripping with venom. You served your purpose. Now, Die here, so we can tell the world how weak your kind truly is. Before Light can process the horror, they strike. Weapons slash across his body. Bleeding and crying out in agony, Light is shoved over the ledge, falling down into the infinite, pitch-black void of the deepest floor of the abyss. As Light plunges into the dark depths, his world shattered, his heart bleeds far more than his physical wounds. The warmth, the smiles, the hugs. It was all a grotesque lie. Deep inside the abyss, surrounded by concentrated, high-density dark magic, a burning flame ignites inside Light's chest. Despair turns to sheer, unadulterated hatred. He realizes the true nature of his skill. On the surface world, the low magic density restricted his unlimited gacha to Tier 1 garbage, spoons and rotten fruit. But here, in the heart of the abyss, the constraints are completely shattered. Bleeding on the floor of the void, Light screams with every fiber of his being, hammering his skill. Unlimited gacha! A blinding surge of divine energy erupts. The gacha interface turns from a dim gray to a terrifying, radiant golden crimson. Cards begin to spin at impossible speeds. Out from the light emerges May, a level 9,999 master fighter clad in immaculate attire, radiating power capable of leveling whole continents. Abyss monsters, creatures that could annihilate entire human kingdoms, charge at them. With a single, effortless flick of her wrist, May obliterates the horde into atomized dust. She turns, bows deeply on one knee before Light, and speaks with absolute devotion. "My master, command me, and I shall erase this world for you." Light looks up from the bottom of the darkest hell. He no longer seeks acceptance. With an infinite supply of level 9,999 loyal warriors at his command, Light begins his march back to the surface. The Concord of Tribes thinks they threw away a useless human, but they have just created the ultimate god of destruction, and his revenge has only just begun.